Welcome to Chart Time. So yes, this is literally the same video y'all saw in the last one. Not the same video, but this is a part two of the same video that I did for the other vlog, because basically I'm doing these both at the same time because that was a while ago. So I'm like, let me just knock them out at the same time, and I'm gonna split them into two videos. So this one though is for episode, I believe it's episode 5. That's one that should be coming. That's the last one y'all should see. And I'm working on episode 6 now, because today is actually, it's Monday now, so let's start episode 6. I don't know if I took last week off. I might have. I don't even know. Let's just get to the chart. All right, let's skip all this talking. Let's get straight to it. So let me go to Trading View right here. So now we're gonna talk about the two trades that I had blocked off with the with the black horizontal, the black rectangle. We're gonna get to that. So these two were based off of this one right here was based off the 4 hour, which I actually scaled down to the 15 minute because I needed a little bit more confirmation on it, because it had already been taken off from there, I believe so. But basically what we see here is that we had this daily fair value gap that formed right here. Now, for me, I wasn't 100% that it would bounce off of this one, just because this one push right here is kind of not enough for us to be like, okay, it's gonna tap into this one and then push off, right? Like, we need to see a little bit more displacement coming off of that fair value gap to shoot, higher, right? After it creates it, right? So what I did is that I scaled down to not the 1 hour, the 4 hour time frame. Let me just move this daily real quick. Move that over here just to get out the way. So what I saw happening was that it came down here, right? But it didn't come down with a lot of momentum. And I remember what I said on the last video, that when I see a fair value gap that happens right here, right? You see this fair value gap, then you see the next candle closes below the wick, right? The body of it. Well, if you can see, it disrespected it. But the only reason that I decided to take the trade off of this one was because of this wick on this 4 hour time frame candle, and then and then the 15 minute time frame. Because usually if I see it come down into here, I forgot something too. So y'all probably don't know who he is, or y'all might know who he is, but Arjo, right? Like, I still do a little bit of studying here and there just to make sure my skills are on point. So I watch videos on YouTube. And basically what I got from him was that you have your flawed, or your first line of defense. And if you look right here, this fair value gap on the 4 hour time frame, it lines up with the previous high, right? Which that would technically that's your first line of defense right there. Meaning that it should come down into this area, and as a first line of defense, it should respect it and then reject it, right? So that's exactly what it did. But if you see here though, after that we have a really weak push up to take this previous high, right? So let's go down to the 15 minute. Okay, so now when I go down to the 15 minute, because like I said in the other one, you have time frames that correlate with each other, and the 4 hour and the 15 minute time frame correlate really well with each other. But just because I took it on the 15 minute time frame does not mean that I'm still taking it as a swing trade. I still took it as a swing trade because it was based on the 4 hour time frame, meaning that my target is still on the higher time frame. I'm just getting in at a better area. But if you look right here, it really wasn't better, because it was dancing around my entry, and bro, that shit was annoying the shit out of me. Like, when I tell you, every time I looked at it, it was back to the area of where I entered at. And it even went down here where, I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought it was gonna be a loser, because like I said, based on the it's over here. Based on this 4 hour leg, there was no other entries for me besides what I found. But what I'm saying is that there were no other fair value gaps that formed that looked like an area where I wanted to get in at, besides the flawed, right? I didn't know how well that was going to play out, because that's kind of the first time I ever used that technique or that understanding to place a trade, right? That was the first time I used it, and luckily for me, it played out correctly. So now let me go on to the 15 minute. real quick, but back to it and show y'all. So if we see here on the 4 hour time frame, it stung into it, right? It stung into this 4 hour fair value gap. And then what we had is it started to push up. It disrespected this fair value gap. And then it also tapped into this one, which made me a little bit iffy when I was looking at it around here, because I'm not gonna lie, I think I was gonna enter in a little bit earlier, like around this area. But then I was like, no, let's be patient and wait for a nice setup to happen. So I saw these 3 candles form right here, and it was a nice little momentum push, and I saw this 15-minute fair value gap. Goddamn, fucking flying here, bro. This is annoying. All right, back to what we're talking about. I gotta get that mug. But I saw that we left this right here, this 15-minute fair value gap, and if you look here though, I got in when this candle right here was pushing up, right? So I didn't get in where I wanted to get in at. I got in on a little bit later. So sorry, that damn fly is annoying me, buzzing in my ear and shit. I'm gonna have to pause this and get to it, get the business. About to whack the shot a little mug, but back to what I'm saying. Nah, excuse me real quick. I need to get this thing. It's annoying. That little fucker fast as shit, bro. I didn't get him. All right, let me finish this though, cause I don't want this one to be too long. That last one was 16 minutes long, so I had to put it as like its own separate little part 2 of episode 4. So let's get to it, so it's not too long. So then maybe I can put it into the actual vlog. But if it's too long, then I mean it is what it is. I'll just put it as a part 2 like I did for the last one. So and again, thank y'all for tuning in. Like this, for real, I appreciate that. So let's get to it. So like I said, I saw this 15-minute fair value gap form, and I entered in a little bit late. I didn't enter in on the actual, the open of, or the top of the fair value gap. And I saw that it closed under here, so it kind of hit my confidence a little bit, like less. Like it made it go down because you don't want to see, a candle close below the fair value gap, because that's kind of like that kind of tells you that it's not like this is not going to be a winner. It's not going to play out because it's disrespecting your entry, right? But for me, because I knew it's a swing trade and it is based off the 4 hour time frame, I was like, I'm gonna trust it. So I trusted it. I trusted my analysis, and obviously you can see that it played out correctly, right? It played out exactly the way I wanted to. Maybe not as perfect as I wanted it to, to play out, but it's still, played out real great. So my bad, I just stuttered because I'm trying to pull up the actual position real quick so I can show y'all, just so I can show you that I actually entered into this. Like I'm not on no fool shit. So this was right here. I think I made, where is it at? Okay, so this one, I think I scaled in on this one too. Yeah, I did. So, well, whatever. I'm pretty sure it was this one. So let me see, 33, what is this? Where I get in, 53? Yeah, so right here, let me actually pull it up on TradeLocker on here instead of just putting my phone to the camera. Let me just show you on the actual platform. And I'm gonna just be transparent, right? This is a challenge account, 100K challenge account. This is my balance right here. If you see, these are all my entries, like even the ones from that last one right here where I got in. So now let's go ahead and go to my close positions. Let's raise that up. And I believe it was this trade right here. I made it the 1.3, 1300, right? So if you can see, my win rate right now is pretty damn good. You know what I'm saying? Basically, I've only lost 3 trades, and man, I've been killing on gold recently, but these are all my other ones. So this is the trade. This is the trade right here that you see right here. And I know I scaled in. I just don't remember where I scaled in. I think it was probably down around this area where I scaled in to only make that 200 right here. I don't know why it's closed out before this one. Who knows? Maybe that was a re-entry on this one. What day was that? I'm trying to make sure I get everything right, so I'm telling y'all the correct stuff. So yeah, it was, what the fuck? I'm confused. When was this one? Well, okay. All I know is that this 291 was a scale in. I scaled in with just like a small amount. I didn't scale in with like what I would regularly risk. All I know is that on this one, I'm pretty sure it was this one I scaled in, or maybe it was this one. You know what? Actually, it was that one. Am I correct? Am I correct though, Positivio? Whatever. Well, y'all get it. It was a winner, okay? As the scaling was a winner. And this one right here, this trade was, I won't say beautiful, but it really tested my patience. It tested the fuck out of my patience. And it was a winner at the end because basically you just have to trust your analysis most of the time. Because a lot of people, and you know, obviously y'all know I'm victim to this too, where you would get in and then you would see how the candles are forming and it causes you to distrust your analysis. When a lot of the times, and most of the time, you are 100% correct on where it's trying to go. It's just maybe you're too early or maybe it's just not the right area that you should have entered in at. So you're facing a little bit more drawdown than usual. But for this one, it was good and it played out. So now let's go ahead and move on to the next one, where I believe on this one again, I entered in on the 15-minute fair value gap, because you see right here, that's 15-minute fair value gap. So remember what I said. Most of my winners happen when the body closes below the wick, right? If you see, there's another example right here, and I believe it happened on the 15-minute time frame too. So this one though was based on this daily time frame, right? Because ERL to IRL, right? So this fair value gap, I saw from previous days that it was kind of acting as a magnet. It was drawing price to it, and also because this candle right here is only one candle push that broke this high, right? Let me put that over here. This one candle broke it, and it wasn't enough to give it that juice or whatever, that momentum, that energy it needed to keep going. It didn't give it that because the next candle was that goddamn fly. Damn. So I saw it as a magnet, and when I saw price starting to kind of retrace, it broke this low pretty heavily with some momentum, and this was the low right here that basically took the liquidity sitting above here. It took that ERL that I was looking at, right? This ERL that I was looking at on the last trade. It took that liquidity, and now there was a potential that it was going to take the IRL after taking the ERL. So I saw this 4-hour fair value gap right here that formed right at the flawed, right, first line of defense. So I scaled down to the 15-minute time frame, and when I did that, I saw we had another entry setting up. So let's look close. If you see right here, the body closed below the wick. And once again, when I see that happen, most of the time I get in. So I got in right here after the small little tap. Did it tap into that? It did, just a little bit. It barely tapped into it. Just barely tapped into it. And for me, I was like, you know what? That's good enough. I'm gonna go ahead and place it. And if you see on the next candle, it actually did come and tap in a little bit more. And then again, because there was a little bit of you can say equal highs right here, right? Equal highs. Let's do that. Liquidity, right? It came down and retested it. And then after it retested, now it didn't retest the fair value gap, it came into liquidity at the highs. Like we gotta remember this. Once the liquidity is taken from the fair value gap, it should not come up in there unless it's taking liquidity from those highs. And it looked like it needed to engineer more liquidity, so it came up there, got people into thinking, oh, it's gonna be a buy, right? Because there's a fair value gap that formed right here. And the overall bias on gold is what? Up. It's bullish, right? So when that happened, what the fuck? Why did I say why? I just said when that happened. Okay, so what happened next though was after it came up here and took the liquidity at this high, right? We formed two equal lows again. So that was hinting at even more confirmation that it wants to go lower because it created these equal lows. And no, it doesn't have to always go back right away and take them, take the liquidity, but eventually it will. But because I saw the 4-hour fair value gap, I saw the beautiful engineering of liquidity going back up into it on the 15-minute, I took that as even more confirmation, right? That's why I got in it again. I'm going back to my entry, but I saw this setup right here, and I was kind of real confident about it, so I let the mug play out. And if y'all see here, it came down, and I did not have a take profit set because sometimes with counter trend trades. So you have two things with counter trend trades. Either when it gets close to your take profit, it's gonna completely smash through it and keep going a little bit more, or it's simply just not gonna hit your take profit at all and you're gonna lose the trade, right? Because counter trend trades are very risky. So like even when you have all the confirmations, it's still very risky because it's still against the trend, right? Because y'all know the overall trend is bullish on gold. But with this take profit, I decided to manually close this one out for a, what was this? It was a 1 to 1.9. I mean, basically 1 to 2, but I put my stop a little bit higher because I saw that on the 15-minute right here, it closed above the fair value gap, but on the 4-hour, it actually respected it, right? Let me see. Go to it. So on the 4-hour, it respected it, and it did the big wick, which on the 15-minute is this right here. But on the 4-hour, I keep switching through and have to reset, and that shit's annoying. On the 4-hour, for my entry, it respected the midpoint. The bodies did, right? The bodies respected the midpoint of this fair value gap. So if y'all see, you can see right here, it played out correctly. And if I go to Trade Locker, I only made $1,000 from this one, so only a 1% play on this one. But again, it was a counter trend trade, so I didn't risk as much. I only risked a 0.05. So, which I guess I kind of did with the majority of these, but with the other ones, it was more like this is more A+ setup, and I can win more than just a one. I can win more than just $500 or whatever. So I knew with those other ones it was gonna be even more. But yeah, basically this is the trade right here, proof that I actually took it, and that is really what happened last week. Whenever episode, what is that, episode 5? I'm checking on my my editing thing, because I edit all my shit myself. Y'all know that. So I'm just checking, making sure I'm sticking to the right one. So on episode 5, these are the two trades that I took. This was the one that closed on that Monday, and then I took 2 more later on that week, and it was a great week. So pretty much, if y'all see, I'm basically close to passing phase 1 because I have to get to 109,000. I'm at 107,000. So it could be this week where I pass it. It might be next week. I am swing trading, don't forget. So things happen a little bit slower, but gold has been on the motherfucking rise lately. It's been moving. So I'm hoping, but I won't set my expectations to me passing this week. But with that being said, though, I appreciate y'all once again for tuning in. Let me go to my, where's it at? OBS right here, and let me turn off this right here. Boom. So let's close it right here. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to Chart Time and just seeing how I get down on the charts. And again, don't forget, please. I'm just kidding, not please. I'm desperate as hell. Nah, but I appreciate though if y'all liked, subscribe, and left a comment though. Like I said, I always will reply to y'all comments as much as I can, and I will see y'all on the next vlog. Hopefully I make these chart times a little bit more smaller so that way they can fit within the vlog, because I don't want the vlog to be like 40 minutes long or 50 minutes long or an hour long, but I will only if y'all enjoy the content. If y'all enjoy it and y'all let me know, I'll make it long. I will put the chart time within the vlogs too, but for now on, until I hear from y'all, I'm gonna just do the vlog separately with the screenshots, and then I'll do a part 2 of the vlog where it's actual chart time where we break down the trades, if I even took a trade that week, because not every week is a trade week, y'all know what I'm saying? So again, thank y'all, and I'll see you on the next one. Y'all be smooth.